far away they are. It really is what's comfortable for you, and hopefully you can all see me there. Lovely. And then just begin, I would start just placing one hand on your heart and just keep the other hand. I've put my right hand on my heart, and then your left hand on your left knee. So it's open. So you're bringing in some good energy through that side. Sitting up nice and tall, and when you're ready, just close your eyes and just begin to settle into yourself. As the ladies at the beginning, we were saying, you know, running around putting kids to bed, you hardly have time to just kind of breathe. So let's all just take a moment. We could have all been working, you know, we've all had things in our day that we've had to deal with. So let's just find that time to just sit. And really feel like you're sitting into the floor, and yet there's that wonderful sensation of pulling upwards. So you're really feeling that lengthening of the spine. The vertebrae are slowly kind of separating slightly just to give you that lift. And then just bow your head slightly, imagining you've got sort of a satsuma underneath your chin. So you're lengthening the back of the spine as well. And just notice and observe how you're feeling. Maybe you can hear a few noises around the room or in the house. Just try and zone out and just try and focus slightly more inward. And with the hand on your heart, you're really kind of just accessing yourself within here. What is truthfully in your heart tonight? And then maybe begin to just inhale for a little bit longer this time. So really feeling the breath move into the belly, feel the diaphragm working. And then as you exhale, really feel that working, that squeeze to release the oxygen back out. So we're starting to engage our core here, and our diaphragm is working those muscles, like a little massage, if you like, for our organs. So if we all start to maybe inhale for 4 counts in our own rhythm. Feel the belly working. And then as we exhale, maybe out for 5 or 6. But this automatically will calm our nervous system. So this is a great way to practice calming yourself in those moments of slightly stressful situations, whatever that might be. And maybe just send a little love to yourself with your hand on your heart. Be kind. Tonight's practice is not about sort of highlighting any flaws or anything like that. It's about acceptance, but it's also about just respecting what is you, what is within. And then placing the right hand back open on your right knee, so your hands are both facing skyward. Just roll your shoulders back slightly, so you're lifting your heart a bit further outwards. Maybe squeezing your core just that little bit more. You might feel your pelvic floor move as well. It's all connected, that's no problem. Lovely. And then all together, let's take a big inhale. And then exhale through the mouth. Really let it go. We're going to do 2 more of those. So inhaling. And letting it all go. Last one, take a really big inhale. And let it go. Lovely. And then bring your palms together and just rub them. We're going to create a bit of prana, a bit of life force energy, a little bit of friction, create some heat. Just before we begin to move. And cup your hands over your eyes and slowly blink them open. Lovely. Great. And bring your hands to your knees. Lovely. Okay, we're just going to start with some small shoulder oils for the minute, just to warm up. It's also great to release some tension. So keeping your hands on your knees, we're not doing too much at the minute. We're going to work on the shoulders in a bit. But we'll just do a couple more, and then we'll just go the other direction. So coming back forward. Lovely. Really nice. Lovely. And then just come to rest in neutral. Right, just make sure if you're sitting on a cushion now, it's probably a good time to move it. We're going to cross our legs opposite direction, just so we're giving ourselves a little bit of variation. You might want to move your sit bones now as well, so you can really feel the ground. And we're just going to work our neck. So there's a lot of truthfulness also comes with what we speak. So we're going to work a little bit with our throat chakra tonight, but it's that idea of, you know, are your words true? Is what you believe true? Is what you're saying the same? You know, it's all linked. So we're going to just stretch the neck a little bit today, so we can all speak our truth a little bit clearer. First of all, we're going to take an inhale and we're going to turn our head very slowly to the right, starting off very gently this evening. But really keep the core engaged. You don't want to be sort of slack. You don't want your back to round. It's really, we're working the subtle muscles within our core. And then on the next exhale, just come back to the center. Lovely. Take another big inhale here. And then slowly exhale to the left. And again, really sitting up tall, keeping the space between our shoulders and our earlobes. We want to feel tall and light and free. Lovely, and then come back to the center. Now I just want you to tuck your chin to your chest, again moving so slowly, really sort of looking down. It's really stretching the back of our neck here, and then slowly coming back to the center. And again, we're going back, but I really want you to go slowly. So really sort of imagine you're drawing a line with your nose. If we move our necks too quickly, it can cause a lot of pain. So we really have to take care and just stretch it here. And we're just stretching out the front bit of the throat. Lovely. And then come back to the center. We're just going to do that sequence one more time. So inhaling at the front, slowly move your head to the right. Just hold it here for a moment. Really feel the stretch down this left hand side. Lovely. Coming back to the center. Slowly to the left. Really feel those inner core muscles working, holding you upright. Lovely. Back to the center. Again, drawing that line with your nose. Move your head down, looking towards your chest, tucking your chin. Really feel that behind you here. Great. And then very slowly, drawing the line with your nose, very gently looking back. Feeling the stretch at the front of your throat. Lovely. And then slowly bringing it back to the center. Great. Okay, we'll just work some more of our shoulders. So just squeeze your shoulders up to your ear and then release. Holding them up really tight and then release. And really feel that sensation, what it feels like when you just let go. One more time. Last one, really squeeze it this time, really feel its uncomfortableness, its discomfort, and then release. And really shake your arms out. We did this last week, but it was quite fun just to get a bit of energy going. You can flick your fingers. My screen's going crazy. Lovely, that's what we want. So just be a bit fluid, have a bit of freedom. It's very rare that we do this and we feel okay about it, so just really enjoy. Awesome, lovely. And you should feel that kind of tingly sensation. You know, your muscles are being loosened, you're giving yourself a little massage. Great, okay, and then just bring them back here. And we're going to place our hands onto our shoulders. So this time, when we roll our shoulders, I really want you to try and meet your elbows in the middle. And the reason I'm asking you to do that is it's really going to stretch the back of your shoulder blades, your scapulas there. You're going to really find a little bit of kind of muscles perhaps that you've never worked before, but we're also opening the chest. So just beware, use your breath as you inhale, feel that space opening, and as you exhale, curve in. So these are really big movements. They're not kind of little shoulder rolls that we did in PE once upon a time. You know, this is really getting our muscles working. Lovely. If you have creaky shoulders, listen to your body, go slow, you know, take it easy if there's some creaks in there, which they can be. Mine is making a bit of a noise tonight. Lovely. And really feel this part of your armpit really opening. Lovely. Couple more. Beautiful. Oh. Feels really nice to open the chest like that. And then we're going to go the other direction. So again, you're coming round and you're trying to get those elbows to meet. You know, we're all made differently. They might not meet, but as close as you can. So you're really feeling like it's a whole upper body workout kind of thing. It's not just these little round motions. It's really big. Drawing massive circles with our elbows. Lovely. And then just shake that out as well. Great. Take a big inhale. And bring your arms right up to the ceiling. But I want you to really drop the shoulder blades back down your back. So you're creating a lot of space there. Hold it for a minute. And then as you exhale, come back down. Lovely. And you should feel them, they're being a bit heavy tonight. So we're going to inhale. We've worked our arms hard already. Hold it there for a moment. And then exhaling, coming back down. One more time, inhaling. Really feel those core muscles working, keeping you up straight, your lower back, pushing down, seating into the ground, and exhaling, coming down. Great, lovely. Okay, release your legs as well. Give them a shake. Perfect. Okay, bring your legs to cross in the opposite direction again. We're just going to keep switching. Okay, and we're going to just do our Sufi rolls. For those of you who don't know, this is taken from a kind of branch of yoga called Kundalini Yoga. If you ever get the chance to experience it, I would highly recommend it. It's because we're all women here as well. It's an crazy kind of idea that basically we're all born with this energy within us from birth, and it's coiled up within the base of our pelvis. And through life, we kind of unravel it, and we reach this kind of place of pure bliss. But we're just going to do a little bit today just to release our lower backs. So I'll just show you. You're going to have your hands on your knees, and we're going to start by going round in a circle in a clockwise motion, and we're going to do it about 10 times. You can do it however you want to, pace wise, but just remember to be breathing. We'll then stop, have a little breather, and then we'll cross over our legs the other way and do it in the opposite direction. Okay, but we're kind of this idea, we're uncoiling this snake energy within us. All right, go with it. I know it's a little woohoo, but we'll enjoy it. So take a big inhale here, keep your shoulders back, and then in your own time you're going to rock round in a circle. So keep breathing, use the breath to help you move, and it will be really kind of a release in your lower back. You want to try and keep your sit bones on the floor as well. Lovely. Go my marla beads again, crazy. Lovely, really nice. And you don't have to go fast, you don't have to go too slowly, you just find kind of a rhythm that works for you. Lovely. And as people know who come regularly, I've forgotten, I'm not counting, so we'll just do a couple more. Lovely. And the next one, just hold it back in the center, and I just want you to sit with that for a moment. So maybe close your eyes. Just notice and observe how you feel after that. Maybe you feel a bit taller, maybe a little bit softer in the lower back. And then when you're ready, just uncross your legs and cross them again in the other direction. And this time we're going to go anti-clockwise. So just find that foundation first. Hold on to your knees. Take a big inhale. And then in your own time, anti-clockwise, we're going to do the same again. Another set of Sufi rolls. Lovely. Oh, really nice. That's it. Keeping your sit bones on the floor, so you're really just working the lower part of your back, the lumbar spine. Lovely. And again, just go with what feels right for you. If it's causing you a little bit of niggles, then just go maybe not quite so low. Lovely. Really nice, ladies. Couple more. Great. And then just come back up to the center again, hands on your knees, close your eyes, and again, just notice how it feels. Maybe there's a few changes, maybe it feels slightly different on this side. Lovely. And then open your eyes. Great. We're just going to do a side stretch just before we start moving from our cat-cow base. So I'd like you just to inhale your left arm up, making sure the shoulder stays down, planting your right hand into the floor, and then just ever so slightly bending. But you kind of want to lift before you bend, so you're really getting this lovely side stretch. We never do any side stretching really in our day-to-day lives, so this should be a very joyous stretch to experience tonight. Keep breathing, lovely. And then as on your next exhale, just come back up to the center. Great. Inhaling with your right arm up. Left hand just to the side slightly, lift up just before you tip. So you're really reaching. The idea is not to bend over, the idea is to reach up. So you're really stretching this side of your body. Gorgeous, really nice. And then your hand is just there for support, lovely. Great, and then come back. And this time we're just going to add it into a little flow. So as you inhale, you're going to reach forward. And then as you exhale, you're going to bend. And then we're just going to make it a little quicker. So as you're inhaling up, and then you're going to bend. So it's just a bit of movement. And you might find that you end up doing more like a rainbow and you might dip a bit more. But this is your movement, your practice. You know, stay true to you, what feels right. But it's just a really nice sensation to be able to move through space. Lovely, really nice. Just keep working with the breath. Gorgeous. You can take the head with you again, just be careful with the neck, but you know, really see it as a kind of a vinyasa flow. So we're working with movement. Lovely. And then just slow it up and then just come back to settle. This time with your palms open. So we're inviting this kind of these good vibes in. Just close your eyes and again, just notice how you're feeling. Maybe you notice something in your upper chest. Maybe you feel a bit lighter, more open. Lovely. And then bring your legs in front of you and give them a little shake out. Just move your bum cheeks if you need to. And we're just going to do a Dadhanasana, forward fold. So lifting up, inhaling. And then leading with your heart. I just want you to reach forward, coming into your pose ever so slowly. Reaching where you get to. Some of you might get to your thighs, you might get to your calves or your shins. Some of you might be able to reach your toes. But wherever you are, I want to see that heart coming forward. It's not about the destination. This is all about the alignment of the spine and making truthful movements with your body. So think about that when you come to it. Lovely. If it's too strong with your legs straight, you are very welcome just to bring your legs bent. That's absolutely fine. Even if you're stretching over your knees, it's not a problem. As long as that spine, if I show you from the side, as long as you're keeping the integrity there, so it's a really lovely straight back. When it rounds like this is when you're doing it wrong. So really think about lifting the heart, straightening the back, and then reaching forward. Really nice. Try not to have too much tension in your neck either. So really just kind of keep that loose. Maybe you want to gaze at your toes, or maybe you want to look at the horizon in front of you. You might want to look down at your knees. It's absolutely up to you, whatever feels comfortable. But as with our yin poses, we're just going to find that point where it feels a little bit uncomfortable. It's not painful, but it's a little bit, the edge, as we call it, the edge of the stretch. So just hold it there for a minute. Use your breath. So keep breathing through your nose, maybe out through your nose or out through your mouth. And you might want to see if you can go a little bit deeper on the exhale. Otherwise, you just keep with that steady breathing. You feel where the kind of stretch is happening. You'll feel it in your hamstrings. And then all of us are going to take a big inhale, lifting our hearts. And now you can round your back. So really feel that kind of curvature of the spine and relax into it. Lovely, really nice. And just enjoy that. Lovely. Great. And then slowly just pad your hands back and give your legs a little shake. And then come onto all fours if you wouldn't mind. Lovely. Now for our cat-cow, just need you to make sure you've got a really solid foundation. So what you want to make sure is your fingers are wide apart. You're pushing into your hands and your big fingers, your second fingers, your middle finger is pointing to the end of the mat. I want you to have the sensation that you're kind of squeezing with your fingers, so there's like a kind of lift underneath your palm ever so slightly. Wrists under your elbow, under your shoulders. You've got this lovely strong alignment with your arms. And the same with your legs, kind of hip width apart. And I just want you to look down here in between your hands, and I just want you to focus on your breath. Okay, you're going to be really working your core now. I want you to imagine you're squeezing up your navel towards your spine. Again, you'll feel your Mula Bandha, your pelvic floor switching on. That's absolutely fine. It's good to get a bit of work in there at the minute. But I just want you to feel what it feels like to be in this solid base. All 4 points of our body are on the floor. Our spine is long and we're rooting down. Great. Keep that core engaged. And then on your next inhale, I want you to dip your spine. You're kind of sticking your tailbone up to the tailbone up to the sky. You're going to push into your hands, so you lift the chest, and then you're going to look forward. So you're going to look probably to the horizon, maybe just to the top of your mat. You don't want to have that compression in your neck, so wherever is comfortable for you. And you're really going to feel like everything is stretching at the front of your body. Then when you're ready, on your next exhale, you're going to push into your hands again. You're going to round your spine. You're going to tuck your tailbone under. You're going to reach your tummy button right up to the back of your spine here. Still pushing into your hands. And then again, as you inhale, coming forward, really stretching the front, pushing into your hands to create that space so you don't have such a tight neck. So really kind of try and make that space open. Lovely. And then as you exhale, tucking your tailbone in, rounding the spine, really, really feeling yourself arch like a cat. Lovely. And one more time, we're going to go inhaling. Really feel the difference. Really feel the space at the front. Really feel that stretch. Lovely. And then exhaling, rounding the back, pushing your hand to your hands. Great. And then sink back onto your heels and take a very nice child's pose. If you have trouble with your wrist, just turn your hands over. Maybe just clench your fists and then release. This will just help with your any kind of niggles in your wrist there. Relax your head to the mat. And just see where the breath goes now. You'll feel it in the back of your body. More of our lung space is in the back of our body actually, and we very rarely breathe into it. So really enjoy that, the kind of tightness that you might feel, and try and expand your lungs whilst you're lying down. Lovely. Okay, and then come back onto all fours, and we'll just do the same sort of movement but with a bit more creativity like we did at the beginning with our arms. So I'll just show you. We're going to do the normal inhale as we would go forward. This time as we exhale and we tuck under, we're going to sink back onto our heels, and then we're going to come forward onto our forearms. So we've got this kind of wheel-like motion. So in your own time you can carry on with this. So we're just giving ourselves a bit of freedom within on our mat. So it can be a small movement, it can be a big movement, but it's that kind of freedom of our spine. So we're really waking up the vertebrae. And by doing all this movement, this is how we get the kind of fluid. I mean, it's incredible. The vertebrae is made like of a sponge material that kind of fills with fluid the more we move. So we have more movement the more we move, which is awesome. So that's why as we get older, we need to keep this movement going. So keep doing this in your own time. And do it a couple more times and then rest into child's pose. I'm going to end the meeting while we're here and then you can join back in a minute. But just keep doing it a couple more times and then have a nice rest in child's pose. Lovely. Great. Oh, you all look so good. Well done. Don't worry, I'll mute you all, so don't feel like you have to come up. I'll mute you, it's fine. You just stay in child's pose and enjoy that rest. Thank you, ladies. maybe while you're in child's pose now, just maybe see if you can sink just that little bit further down on your heels. So you've kind of if you want to, you can bring your knees together if you feel it will create you more space, but just that kind of, that softening really into the lower back. That's what you need. That's what you want. I say you, our bodies, we like that. If I was there, I'd kind of push you gently on your sit bone just so you get that sensation of lengthening. So you can imagine me doing that if you like. Great, I think that's everybody. Wonderful. Okay, so just enjoy that. I'll mute you all, so don't worry about getting up if you don't have to. Okay, lovely. Okay. Great. Okay, so from there, when you're ready, just come back up into your all fours position. And we're just going to work on a bit of balance, and then we're going to do, we'll do one downward dog, I think, just for tonight, just because then we can. So we did the kind of the circular movement. This time we're going to do a figure of 8. So when you breathe in, you're still going to do your looking forward, pressing into your hands to create the space and that arched back. And then as you sit back onto your heels, as you round, you're just going to come and do that kind of figure. So we're still having that freedom, but we're just doing a little bit more with our hips and freeing up our hips. If you've got dodgy knees or they're just feeling a bit uncomfortable, you can always put a cushion underneath or roll up your mat. I don't want you to hurt yourselves just for the sake of this, so just be kind. But you're just going in either any direction, doesn't really matter. You might want to start one way and then follow, but just want you to kind of feel your whole body being part of this movement, but still sticking with the breath. So as you inhale, you're coming forward, and as you exhale, you're going back. There's less rounding of the back in this movement, but you'll still be getting that the kind of sensation of that snake-like motion. Great. And then when you're ready, just switch direction. So you might come to a different figure of 8 in a different way. You might want to try and go a bit bigger this time, so really using your forearms as well, which will create a bit more work. Lovely, really good. And then just come to rest in a neutral cat-cow or tabletop position. Again, just check your base, so check your knees are kind of hip width apart, your hands are shoulder width apart. You've got a really strong open palm, so your fingers are very spread. And again, looking down in between your hands, just find your breath. Find your true breath tonight. Can you just accept that maybe it's a bit slow today, or maybe your body's feeling a little bit creaky, or maybe you're just super tired, but just accept it and know that it is what it is. There's no expectation, there's certainly no judgment, but the truthfulness comes with, can you accept it on your own part? Lovely. Okay, so as we inhale next, we're going to dip the spine like we've been doing before into our cow pose. This time I want us to just tuck our toes under, and I just want us to lift our knees to begin with. So we're just going to place them slowly back on the mat. So with each inhale, we're just going to lift our knees. So you'll notice that you'll see my back staying quite straight, because I'm only really working my legs, and it's quite strong, so we won't do too many. Okay, this time, untuck your toes, just wait here for a moment. If you want to watch, you can first. This time, we're going to inhale, tuck our toes under, lift our knees. We're then going to bring our chest to our knees before reaching up into a downward dog. So I'll just do that with you again. Some of you do, yeah, well done. So you're going to just have a base, take a big inhale, tuck your toes under, lift your knees, bring your chest to your knees if you can, and then lift your bottom. Lovely. So we've got that really lovely straight spine, and then you can just walk the dog. So pedal your legs, or pedal your feet, and then just come to rest where feels comfortable. Now for some of us, we might feel our blood is rushing to our head. I certainly won't be down here too long after having a tooth removed yesterday, so we'll just go easy. So just stay where, as long as it feels comfortable for you. Let your head be heavy, Let there not be too much tension in your shoulders. Maybe roll your shoulders kind of away, externally rotate them. Lovely. And then slowly bring your knees back to the mat. Keep them together if you can this time. Bring your big toes together behind you and then sink back into that lovely relaxing child's pose. And if you want to relax your shoulders even further, you can take your arms straight down behind you and really just breathe deeply. In this pose, the reason why it's so restorative is our spines go into the position that we want when we were fetuses in the womb. So it's a really safe position to be in. Lovely. Okay, and then when you're ready, back into your all four position. Great. So just before we start our warm down, I just want us to do a little balance here. So we're going to take our right leg back behind us with our toes still touching the floor. And we're just going to stretch out that hamstring. So really engage your glutes, so really engage the bottom, really kind of squeeze it together so you feel like the whole back of your leg is working. Push into your hands to create that lovely space around your neck. Lovely. And then bring your knee back to the mat. Great. Okay, next side, we're going to take our left leg back. Just really extend it so you're stretching. You don't need to lift it off the floor. If you want to, you're absolutely more welcome to. We're going to do that in a second. But really squeeze the glutes. You've got that sensation of knowing what it feels like. Lovely. And then bring that back to the mat. And then I want you to sit back on your heels, and this time I want you to reach your right arm forward. So we're stretching the side of our body here. Okay, we're stretching that lovely right armpit. Trying to keep our hips level. It's very easy to kind of follow our arm, but we're trying to keep our bottom kind of at a level on our hips as well. And slide that hand back. And then slide the left hand forward. So you're getting that kind of puppy dog pose here. Lovely. And then coming back to the center. And this time we're going to take our right leg back. And we're going to lift it off the ground. So really pushing off on our hands. We're really working our glutes. And we're trying to hold it in the air. It doesn't have to be really high. It's better if it's probably just in line with your spine, so you're not going to compress your lower back too much. And then if you feel confident and you're working in the core and you're feeling strong, you then can lift your left arm and see if you can reach it forward. So you'll feel this crisscrossing motion. This is strong, but it's really, really good for our core and our lower back. Keep your gaze looking down at your hands. You've got a lovely long neck. Keep breathing. Be true to you. Go with what feels right. And then when you're ready, place the hand back down and the knee. Great, and we'll do the other side. So pushing into the hand, extending the left leg back, lifting it off the floor. You need to work your core, really engage those stomach muscles. Hold it there, and when you find your balance point, then see if you can release your right arm, reaching forward, keeping your gaze down. And imagine someone's pulling the toes of your back foot and someone's pulling your fingers. So you've got this really kind of opposing forces at work, keeping you steady. Keep breathing. Really push into your hand to create that extra space. It's a really good strengthening pose, this. Lovely. And then place your hand back down and bring your knee back to the mat. Lovely. And then just realign yourself again. So making sure your knees are hip width apart, shoulder hip width apart. And we're going to do a thread the needle. So we're going to take our right hand and we're going to thread it through our left. We're just going to slowly lower the shoulder to the floor and just take a nice big breather here. Lovely. This is a nice pose. Thread the needle, it's called. Great. And then coming back up to all fours. And then taking the left arm through. So you're taking it under behind your right arm, bringing the shoulder to the mat, and then just resting your head onto the mat as well. And really breathe deeply here. Feel the breath kind of circulating around the body. Lovely. And then back up to all fours. And then we're going to do the lovely pigeon pose, which I do every week, but I feel like it's such a good one to do. So we're going to take our right knee towards our right wrist. We're going to swing the right leg through. So it's kind of aiming for the end of the side of our mat. Using the force and power in our arms, we're just going to slowly slide the back leg. That's great. And go slowly. If you're not used to doing this, it can be quite a shock on your hamstring here behind. So just be really gentle with yourself. Some of you might want to stay here. You might want to TP your fingers. Others of you might want to go onto your forearms to really take it down to the mat. But really go at what feels comfortable for you. It's a really good one to sort of practice your breathing into. Another good thing to do is if you've got a pillow nearby and your hip you feel is sort of coming off the ground, you can always place a cushion or a block if you have one just underneath that hip, so you feel supported and you're not doing any kind of damage in between. It's always a good one to have. And you might then want to just come down a bit lower, maybe rest your hands in front of you, rest your head on the kind of pillow. But wherever you are, really think about your breath. Really notice if it's changed. Maybe it's going to somewhere different now. Lovely. And then this is the important part. Coming back onto your hands, just pad your hands back towards your knee and then untuck your toes behind you and just kind of knee toe, just so your weight comes a bit further over your hip, and then come back to that lovely all fours position. Just be careful. Lovely. Great. And then bring your left knee to your left wrist. Swing that foot kind of through as much as you can, and then slowly slide into pigeon. Gosh, I'm much tighter on this side, so this would be perfect for me just to put a pillow here, and basically then my hips are level, but I've got something that's kind of securing my fall, as it were. But it's good to notice those things. It's good to notice maybe which sides are stiffer or more kind of crinkly than the others, maybe not quite so ironed out. And then just breathe here again. You may want to stay here. It's quite strong on your lower back here, so you can always come to your forearms, a bit like Sphinx arms. Or if you want to come fully with your head resting onto your mat or on your arms, you can. But really breathing deeply here. Lovely. And then your own time, slowly release. So remember padding your hands back to the centre before untucking your toes and just doing that lovely kind of shifting your weight forward just before you unravel the leg. Lovely. And then come into a seated position. Lovely. And then just bringing your soles of your feet together. Hopefully you can see me. Sorry, I haven't got my mat quite as far back as I usually do. Bringing the soles of your feet together. If you can bring them in, that's the aim. But again, listen to your body tonight. If you're not feeling it, then don't push it, don't force it. And I just want you to kind of see if you can maybe just gently massage your feet. Power of touch is amazing. And it's okay to do it to yourself, you know, it's okay to give your feet a massage every now and then. So just really kind of squeeze out your toes. I know some people feel a bit funny about it, but you just want to kind of open them up. So they kind of look like the pages of a book, but really trying to keep that center line, that plumb line, really nice and tall. If this is too much and too strong, I would recommend just putting a rolled up blanket or cushion underneath your knees. You feel so much safer, and it's just not worth the worry that you feel the fear that your legs might butterfly out completely. So really work with that. If you have cushions nearby, it's a really nice feeling. So while you're sitting there with your lovely open book, I just want you to close your eyes. And I just want you to think of maybe somebody, or maybe someone's come into mind whilst you've been practicing. Maybe a mantra, maybe a phrase, maybe something you want to take with you for the week. Whatever it is, I just want you to imagine you're writing it with your mind's eye, just on those lovely open pages, blank canvases of the soles of your feet. Something true to you, or someone that means something to you. Just imagine you're signing or writing something. And then just close those feet together, so you're kind of sealing it as if it were a letter. And then just bring your hands together and clasp your hands around your feet if you can. If you can't quite reach your feet, your ankles are absolutely fine. But really thinking about keeping that heart space nice and open. Thinking of that person or word or phrase or thing that you want to keep within between the soles of your feet. Just for this week, like a little tattoo. And sitting up nice and tall, taking a big breath in. And then as you breathe out, I just want you to lead with your heart and again, just begin to fold. You don't have to go far, but just stretching out that lower back that you worked really hard in pigeon for. Lovely. Really just maybe on the exhale, going that little bit further. Remember to keep that lovely straight spine, that lovely straight neck. Keep breathing and notice where that breath goes. Maybe just widen your legs ever so slightly with each exhale. Lovely. And then unclasp your hands, pushing yourself back up, taking hold of your knees very gently, bringing them together. Great. And then just hug them into the chest. So if you can, just wrap your arms around them and just give them a squeeze. Lovely. And then we're just going to take our legs to the side, just gently. We're not going to do a too big a stretch here. And I just want you again just to lean forward, but really engaging your quads here. So you want to have your toes facing skywards. And we're just going to see if we can take hold of our feet or our ankles or wherever it might be. And we're just going to fold, but just lower the neck looking down. Don't try not to look at me if you can help it. Just really just look at the floor and extend that neck. But we're just working those hamstrings again. Lovely. And then slowly coming up, and then just bring your legs in front of you together, just give them a shake, and we're just going to mirror what we did at the beginning. So just make sure your bum cheeks are out the way. I just want to see, you'll probably hopefully notice a difference. So we're going to take a big inhale up, and then we're just going to lead with the heart again. I just want you to fold forward. Remember, keeping that spine nice and straight. And I just want to see if you notice anything different. Maybe you can reach that a little bit further. Maybe you notice there's a space within your chest, an open heart. And then you can round the back. So really just fold over. Lovely. And then come slowly to lying on your back on your mat. And bringing your knees into your chest here for a minute and just rocking from side to side. And then placing your right foot to the floor with a bent knee, and then your left foot to the floor with a bent knee. I'd like you to take your arms to the side with your palms facing up or down. It doesn't really matter, whichever feels comfortable to you. And we're just going to rock to the right side. So you're just going to let your knees take you. And then if it feels okay to do so, you can just turn your head to the left. So you're getting this wonderful spinal twist here. Semi-supine twist, so you can really enjoy it. There's no pressure, there's no weight on anywhere else. Lovely. And then as you inhale, bring your knees back up to center. And then take another inhale. And as you exhale, let your knees drop to the left. You can remain looking up at the ceiling if you wish, or you can turn your head to the right to get the full extension of the twist. Lovely. And then back to the center. And then bring your right leg in and extend your left leg. So you've got this lovely squeeze on your right side. Lovely. And then bring your right foot to the floor, and then bring your left knee in to your chest. Extend your right leg down. And again, just feel that opening. Lovely. Bringing your right knee back in, I then want you to just take hold of your feet if you can, And I just want you to bring your sort of legs, imagine your knees are coming to your armpits. I'm just looking at myself, it looks a bit strange. If you can take hold of your toes, just take your 2 peace fingers and wrap them around your big toe. You can hold on to your big toe. But if it's just easier to hold on to your ankles, then please do that. But your sort of legs are dropping out to the side. And this is happy baby pose, which is just lovely. But you want the sensation of your knees drawing into your armpits, basically. And then you can just rock side to side. But this is just very good for the lower back. It's a really kind of nourishing pose, very comforting. So I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Lovely. And then just hold it there for a minute. See if you can take a big in-breath. Lovely. And then bringing your knees together and coming down into Shavasana, into your relaxation. So you want to be as comfortable as possible whilst lying on your back. Bringing your arms by the side of you, just a few inches away from the body with your palms turned up. Maybe just rock your head from side to side just to find that really sweet plum position of where you want your body to rest in this moment. Let your hips be heavy and your legs to flop out to the side. If you want to get a blanket or a jumper, this would be a perfect time to keep warm. So you've got time to do that. Don't feel rushed. I always like to put a jumper on. It just kind of closes a nice practice. But just begin to let the body really settle. Really start to feel that you deserve this rest, this wonderful relaxation you've worked so hard for this evening. And really begin to get comfortable. Let your breathing start to soften. Let it be natural, not forced. You're not really thinking about it now. It's a real quietening of the body. And as you lay there, just maybe notice the rise and fall of your belly. That soft breath. Maybe you start to let the worry lines on your forehead really melt away. Really relax the whole body. Let your shoulders be kind of tucked away. Imagine you've got wings folded behind you. So you're really starting to really sink into the floor, knowing that the earth will catch you. You can truly relax. Let your chest relax. Let your upper arms be heavy. Let your forearms be heavy. And let your fingers relax in a way. They should just hold that gentle curl, but there should be no tension in your fingers. Your whole body is softening. And feeling this really deep relaxation. Let your hips be heavy. Your upper legs relax and feel heavy. Let your calves relax and rest. And let your feet be heavy too. Let them really relax to the side. Relax your toes. And really feel this sense of the sensation of relaxation. Let it wash over your body like a wave. There's nowhere you need to be right now. This is truthfully the only place you are meant to be. And while you're here relaxing, I'm just going to read a poem and then I'll go quiet, and it'll be very quiet because I'll mute myself so you can really enjoy this relaxation. But I'm reading a poem called SATYA, which is that truthfulness. I go into hiding when I know I'm facing you. when I know facing you will ultimately open a can of worms that can't easily be closed without making a huge mess first. So you bide your time, knowing that eventually I will reach my breaking point, where I can no longer ignore you. You visit me in the quiet moments, whispering familiar thoughts and ideas, echoing heart-won realizations, showing me the contrast of them versus now. Am I happy? Who am I? Who have I become? Tears. Tears of recognition. Tears of confirmation. Tears of surrender. I let you in. I let you get close. It's time for examination. You show me my pitfalls, the traps I have become ensnared in, and then you reflect back to me all that should be treasured and kept safe. You remind me of my strength, and you show me of my power. You recall my many personal victories and all the fierce grace it took to become who I am. Gratitude for all the wisdom gleaned on my journey. You lead me back to the light, my light. May I never snuff it out again. Slowly take a big inhale. Really fill your belly with that breath. Maybe wiggle your fingers, begin to wiggle your toes, bring a little bit of life back into your body. And there's absolutely no rush, but in your own time, just maybe move to your right side, so roll onto your right side, but you might want to stretch or yawn or do what feels comfortable for you, and just stay there on the right side for a moment. Really just take stock of what you've been doing today. Maybe think about how the practice was for you. Did the yoga tonight maybe give you a truer insight into yourself? And then in your own time, when you're ready, just pushing yourself up into a seated position. Again, whatever is comfortable for you. And then maybe just sit with that one hand on your heart again. Maybe this time take your left hand on top as well. Just dip your chin ever so slightly when you come to seating, just so you've got that lovely lengthened neck as well. And just take a moment to think about the inscription that you placed with your mind's eye on your soles of your feet. Carry that in your heart this week, or that person, or that phrase, whatever it was. Keep it close. And then bring your hands together. Place them on the top of your forehead. May all that you think be truthful. Placing your hands to your mouth. May all that I speak be true and kind. Placing your hands back to your heart. And may all that I feel be true to who I am. Namaste. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. You may unmute. I'll see if I can unmute you all. There you go. Make sure you all drink lots of water this evening before you go to bed. Not too much that you're up and down all night, but